Hey, good morning. Oh, there's a few people here already. Oh, good morning, good morning. Yes, I'm in the cabin, you can see, with all this stuff behind me. Oh, good Sunday morning. Let me see who's here first off, because I feel like doing that first. Bernie, hey, and Miss Beth, and Miss Beth. Um, If you have a comment or a question for Lesa, please start your comment with the three uppercase Q's so she will see your question and can answer you. Woohoo, thank you so much, Beth. Um, Catherine and Homer are not going to be here today. Catherine and Homer have gone to church. And on our prayer list today, Homer's going to need eye surgery. He has some problem with his eyes, but it's not happening yet. So, but stick it on your list, okay? Um, Homestead Nomads. Liana, welcome. Hi, good morning. Oh, Liana, it was so cool to have a clear sky and for me not to feel so exhausted. I was able to actually go out on the porch and see the moon last night. It was so nice to see that little, I don't know if it's a crescent or just a sliver, but to see the moon, that was nice. Uh, oh, I, I forgot to do something. Oh, I can't forget to do that. That's not cool. We're going to leave it that way today. Okay, there you go. Now I've done my part that I was supposed to. Let me make sure I got all these uppercase Q things from saying hi. James, good morning. Oh, and there's a I don't do birthdays, but happy you day, right? I mean, I know it's important to some people. So it's not a problem for me to really say something to you about it, but I don't keep birthdays. Why don't I keep birthdays? One, because I never did my whole life. My family didn't. And two, because all the examples in the Bible were all negative about birthdays. So I just decided if it was always negative in the Bible and it was not like an example we were given, I just not going to do it. So that's why. So, but I'm glad you were born, Beth. And that's so sweet of James to tell you good morning, y'all, and a happy birthday to my beautiful wife, Beth. What a lovely man. I'm so happy for you guys. Iris, hi, Iris. Uh, Beth is saying, I've got ads, okay? And remembering Homer with a lot of praying hands emojis from Beth. They call it the first, Leanna, I'm sorry, I didn't say who it was. Um, they call it the first visible crescent or a sliver. Yeah, and she did emojis, get my tongue together. And the emojis, I think, are a smile, a kiss, and a something. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. So, new people coming in. Um, you need to use three uppercase Q's or super thanks or gifts or whatever you're able to do in order for me to actually read your comments out loud and talk about that for you. So, we have 3-week-old kitties. They're sleeping. I'll turn this around and show you a little bit, but they're sleeping right now. Yeah, my house is kind of dirty. My cabin's kind of dirty and messy today, or cluttered today. So, Mama's taking her own bath. Mama is leaving them sometimes to go outside and use the bathroom. or play or hunt. Okay, I'm going to move the camera a little bit. I have, hang on a second. I have I have everybody in one of these doggy playpens. And so now you're going to have to see through the screen of the doggy playpen. But they're just a pile of black fur. There's three, and they're 3 weeks old, and they now all have their eyes open. So they hear me wake up in the morning and they talk to me and they start to move toward the side of the playpen where I am. Or they do the same thing for Wendy now. It appears that we have two with a little white under their chest. One has a bigger spot than the other one does. And one appears to be completely black. I think that when I touch them, I move their fur away from their skin, and their skin is kind of light colored under there. So that's a little hard to see, but there we go. So let me look back up here. I see some more things. Okay. Leanna, they call it, oh, well, I read that one already. Sorry, Leanna. Or sorry, people. Uh, Beth is saying, "Ad's done. I'm here now." Cool. I see a new name. Hi, Joshua. Beth is saying, "Good morning, Miss Bobby Kitty and baby kitties." Joshua said, "Hi." Rockin' Van Life checking in to say, "What's up, everybody? Please use those uppercase cues." But I know your name, Poophead. We're already having signal issues. I'm going to, would like to have, they have a We Boost cell phone booster cabins. I would kind of like to have one of those here on the cabin, but I would also like to have the overland system on the tracker. But both of them are really pricey. So if I could get a pro deal, or if they would sponsor me and give me one, I would really like that. I wish that the overland system was low power draw or 12 volt, and maybe it is, but I will have to work on that. So that's the plan, is to work on that. It looks like I'm in a cabin with those lanterns behind my head, doesn't it? Um, yeah, okay, I read those. I'm checking your messages. I didn't plan a whole lot for today. I kind of, I don't know what's going on with me. It just, I know some other people who are creators, content creators, that are going through similar stuff and just not feeling like doing anything. I don't know what the whole thing's about, but whatever. Um, oh, is that Mary? Um, good morning, Mary. Waves, hugs, love coming from all those little emojis. Leanna said something about she's there we go. That she's listening today or something while she's doing something else. Um, the other fur baby stuff is Miss Wendy is just in her hammock chilling. I need to wash her face. Her eyes are kind of messy. She had runny eyes. You know, small, short dogs often have allergies to pollen and stuff like that. But whatever. Okay, let's see. What else is going on? Okay, so yeah, I wrote some stuff down yesterday, but uh um I had a really good day yesterday. Um I went out and met a neighbor at farmers market in order to give them the rest of my vegetables because, and I'm saying vegetables, it was a couple of shallots and a red cabbage because vegetables have been killing my stomach. Crap. On a health note, that sucks. I mean, sucks big time. Anyway, but I found some new information, and so I'm going to try that for a while and see what happens. Okay? It is a it's Dr. Gundry mentioned it in his latest book, The Gut Brain Paradox, and it's a 5 week, I think it was 5 week to 3 month reset. And he called it Chicken and the Sea. And the reason he called it that was because it's basically no vegetables at all, carnivore based, but poultry, poultry, fish. And for me, because I've always lived a Old Testament kosher style um, foods, my list is different than Dr. Gundry's list or whoever's list is out there in the world. But basically, so poultry, fish, and fermented goat or sheep dairy only. So I can have goat milk cheese, I can have goat milk kefir, I can have sheep milk cheese, I could have yogurt or sour cream if it was goat or sheep and I could find it. In my local area, that's not really available right now. My neighbors and friends who's were blessed, a couple of my neighbors were blessed with multiple sets of triplet goat kids this spring. They're not milking yet. The baby goats get the first 3 months and then they can milk them. And so I don't have any local goat milk right now. And because I've been like messing around with things that cost money since I went and had the car fixed and my teeth jaw thing started. I haven't bought the powdered goat's milk that I used to for making kefir. It's a thing, but that's the health stuff kind of going on right now. I've basically been starting to do that, but I kind of a little limited on what I've got, and I wanted to finish eating the avocados I already had because they don't hurt my stomach. And so I'm eating cans of tuna fish, and I have one more avocado to go through, and then I'm kind of back to I'll need to buy groceries again, and I got to be careful. Um, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to afford lectin free poultry, but I can do this reset with as inexpensive as I can fish, even canned tuna fish. But you got to do the wild stuff and either get it in olive oil and drain the olive oil and use perilla oil from that's a Korean thing. Anyway, there's science behind it. But anyway, to try to get it on a budget, I may have to eat a lot of tuna fish, and that's okay with me because I happen to like it. So I the price went up crazy on that canned mackerel that I like. But anyway, so I will figure out how to do this with the cleanest things I can and see if I can get my gut reset. Because that's gotta be the problem is the leaky gut crap. Anyway, okay, so that's the health stuff. That might be boring to some of you. But from an MS, from a multiple sclerosis viewpoint for Lesa, this is really important because when I've been healthy, clean eating stuff and it's worked, then I'm in really super good shape. My weight is reasonable, all that, but it has never lasted very long. And so, I was beginning to react to ruminant meats. And I was like, what's going on with me? Because I was carnivore and I did well on it for a while, but I started reacting to all the ruminant meats and stuff. And so, but we're just taking a side step or whatever. So, okay, let me let you guys messages. No, I saw the good morning, Mary. I think I read it. Hi, Deborah. Welcome back. Don't forget to use three uppercase Q's for Lesa to see your comments. Oh, you had that in. Okay, you had that in quote in parentheses. Anyway, so let's see. I'm trying to remember what I put the title out here as. Um, yes, Chevy Tracker Travels is going to happen in a couple of weeks. I will start traveling again. I'm waiting for my mobile mechanic to come and fix the inside door handle on the passenger side. I went to open it the other day and it popped the spring and I knew it was never installed correctly. So he's going to come fix that for me, but his truck broke down. So I've just been postponed. It's not big, but my door is closed and locked and I just don't use it until that happens. And then I think that's the same oil I bought, Beth. Thank you for sharing that. Um, and then he's doing that. Oh, I've been using the back way into the cabin, which doesn't get used hardly ever. Nobody else drives over there. Anyways, I've been using that back way quite a bit. And there was a sound, a metal twisty metal sounds the other day, and I didn't remember seeing anything in that dirt road. So I don't know whether it was a car. I hope I didn't damage anything. I'm just going to have him check that CV joint again and take a good look at it before I start the travels in a couple of weeks. I've got to make sure that the kittens are safe first. So this week I had my new neighbor, Joshua, who has his own channel, by the way. One day I'll do something with him. But oh hey Bernie, um, they he came and helped me under my direction, got creative, and we got the catio on the south side of the shower house secure. And it includes a ground level clean out door and litter box, along with ramps up into the other part. And we added hinged doors to places so I can clean it better. So when I get ready to go, the cats should be moving around enough and the weather should be better enough that we can start to move them outside so they can be out there. I've already talked to my other good friend neighbor who's willing to watch them while I'm gone. She'll come feed them and everything. Now, so that's kind of cat stuff right now because everybody's sleeping. You're not going to get a good view of that right at the moment. What else is going on? But yes, I'm going to do adventure travel. I have two events coming up. One is Overland Expo West in Flagstaff. I will be camping in the DIY showcase area inside the event. I will have my Instaprivy kit with me. I've already talked to Paul about some supplies that I need to get, and he's aware. I've asked him if he could get me a sticker for the window. But anyways, I love the Instaprivy kit. I still have it. It works well with the tracker because SUV tents just don't work with my tracker. It's so small. So until I can maneuver doing something custom made or something, I have to deal with what I have. And so to have a space that you can cover yourself and sit on the toilet or stand up inside of to change your clothes, especially at an event or something, is kind of important. And so I use the Instaprivy kit for that. One year I had it mounted on the rear spare tire carrier that's on my rear door, and I liked it, but it the backpack that they sell with their kit is not weatherproof. And so in a matter of months, maybe a year, the backpack fell apart, dry rotted. And so it's not the best pack for mounting on the back of your vehicle. So, that being said, I got a super deal on Amazon, and no, I didn't give it to Beth, but I got a super deal the other day and managed to get a rear tire carrier like trash bag that looks like a backpack for my tire. It's supposed to be the right size. It said it should be at the post office tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to go tomorrow because I have the girl coming to do some painting and stuff. So I'll probably just work around the house. And then Tuesday I might go. I don't know. I don't know if I'll go Tuesday, but whatever. Um, but it that backpack carrier that I got a smoking deal. It was $21. So I just said, oh, it doesn't matter if I have enough money for everything. It's a deal I'm buying because I need to be prepared for the tracker to look as good as it can and at least be functional, um, more than functional, for the showcase thing, but where it's really getting shown off. But the weekend afterwards is Zuki Palooza. Now, Zuki Palooza is an event for people with Suzuki vehicles, and it is put on by Zooks of Arizona, and it's going to be down in Cottonwood, is where everybody is going to be camping, and then they're going to go on trail rides. Now, I don't always do trail rides because my car is my daily driver and only vehicle. And some people are trailering in their samurais or whatever, and they want to go rock crawling because they have 33-inch tires or something. I'm not a rock crawling girl. But anyway, I'll do a mild trail, but these guys are serious rock crawlers, so I ain't trying to ruin my vehicle. But I do need it to look good and to show it off. So I am not going to spend hundreds of dollars on things that could get stolen from me or could break or were a problem, you know. So I went ahead and got the same kind of ammo crate I had in the past for a kitchen box. And because I was able to, I'll flip this around, I was able to get some old stock that pot right there. Sea to Summit silicone that folds flat. And because of that, that's going to be in the tracker for the pots and pans and um, bowls and my camp coffee cup and stuff like that is basically that set for this trip at least. Okay. Because I got a good set. I even got the little fry pan. The fry pan didn't come with a lid, but I bought silicone lids in that same kind of color. So I can maneuver that to do anything I want to do for now, and as long as those last, right? Someday I would like to have probably, I haven't decided on this. I'm thinking that someday I might like to have, what? Did you, is something outside? What do you smell? Wendy just said something and she's sniffing the air. We're safe. Do you want to go check? What's up with your eye? You need Mama to wash your face. Do you want to go outside? You want to go out check? You want to just, I'll close the door. There you go. Wendy's still playing auntie to the kittens. But she and Mama Cat are doing a thing where the mother cat will go out to use the bathroom or go hunting, and she'll let Wendy babysit for her. But Wendy is getting up in the morning, checking that everybody is in the, all the kitties and Mama are in the um, playpen, and then she'll, Wendy wants to go outside, and she just got down to check. She wants to go out in the front, and she goes out, stands on the front porch, and barks like telling all the wild animals to stay away from her home, that she's guarding those babies or something. I probably don't. I'm just making up what I think, right? But anyway, so, and then Wendy does this and helps give them a bath and checks on them and some whatever. So, okay. But on a budget travel, and yes, I can be a scaredy cat, a fraidy cat when I'm out overlanding. Oh, absolutely. I did not grow up four-wheel driving and stuff like that. So it was uncomfortable for me. I wanted to do it because I'd been paralyzed before and I was unsure what I was going to be capable of doing. So being able to do some things, I'll take a little risk, but I can't wreck my car. I've already had an engine blow. That's scary as living at the back of the shop while you're trying to figure out how to get 12 and a half or 13 hours back home. That's challenging. It's very challenging. So I don't blame this on anybody, okay? But I'm saying that even for me, sometimes I get to a hill, like when we went to Baja on that trip, and I get to a hill and I'm like, it looks straight down. I'm afraid if I bump the front tire on a rock, it'll just roll end over end. And then I'm really screwed because how am I going to get myself home? Right? So, those kind of things, yeah, yes, I believe in the great creator, God, Yahweh, Jehovah, what. And so, yes, I pray. And yes, I ask for protection along the way and everything else. And the first time I did the scariest, they wanted me to go first because I was little. And I was like, oh no, I've never been on that kind of a hill before alone. And Then I realized I didn't want anybody sitting in the car with me, but I was like, would one of you go down with a vehicle before me? Because I'm scared. I need to see that it's possible first. And so they took one of the other vehicles first, and then I went down afterwards. And it was like, well, if that didn't fall over, then I'm probably not going to, fall over. So it was just, but sweating all the way down, scared, 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 scared. Got to the bottom and went, oh, thank you, God. But I was scared to go back up because, we camped at the bottom. And then the next morning we had to go back up. Wendy, come this way. Come this way. I can't reach that door. Come, come. So, so, oh, I should leave that so she can. I've been teaching them open how to push it so they can get in. Okay, anyway, so I so the next morning they were like, well, we'll go first, right? And I was like, yeah, whatever. I was already packed up. It was, because it's with my small vehicle and the way I travel, I sleep inside the tracker. Now I have tents, I have things, but I sleep in the tracker. Okay. It's comfortable, it's easy. I don't know, it's just easy, simple. So so that next morning, they're all talking and running to the bathroom and finishing their coffee and whatever else. And I start the car and well, first I walked back up the hill. Once I walked it, I was like, why am I afraid of this? I got this. So, and I figured I'd already made it to the bottom. So going back up couldn't be that bad. So while they were all doing whatever they were doing, I just drove up the hill all by myself. And I got to the top and I got down out of the car, got down on the ground and kissed the ground. I was like, I did it, I did it, I did it. Big deal. Because it was a big deal to me. And then there were some other scary moments, but it was a big deal. So uh, that that Fraidy Cat stuff is alive and well, even in me. And yes, I'm out here on YouTube. And yes, I go show off my rig at events because they're trackers. Mine happens to be a Chevy Tracker. They're all Suzuki's, okay? Some of them were Geos, some of them are Suzuki sidekicks, and then there were Samurais and whatever. And now in other countries, there's Jimneys, which if we could have them, I probably wouldn't go in debt for a Jimny, but boy, would I be begging for donations because I love me a Jimny. Anyways, they are so cute and they're capable, but they're capable vehicles. And so there are people out there like me that we don't have a lot of money, but if we can get our hands on one of these, we can do some of these trips and things. And yeah, we're not the fastest one in the group. Absolutely. I mean, I've, according to Google Maps, because with a lift kit and a new engine, my dash cluster and the odometer and speedometer and all that stuff doesn't work like it's supposed to. So I use my Google Maps to tell me how fast I'm going. It has told me that I got up to 75 before. Okay. But I'm not going to do 75 for hours in my car because why? I don't have cruise control. It's so small, having cruise control probably would not be. Some people add it to theirs, but like, why? I mean, why? And because I'd been paralyzed before, mine's an automatic, and I have the 1.6-liter engine with the 16 valves, which, when my engine blew, was not an easy engine to get. So I had an engine built. Okay. I probably should go check and see what y'all are talking about, so because I've seen some cues. Let me go back. I saw that. So, um, Beth said, kitty smiley emoji, nice catio setup plan. Yes, it is. I didn't take a picture, and if I move around with the phone here, you may not get to see me. So, I may screw it up. So I'm not going to screw it up. And then you put out a wit step. Beth put out a spare tire trash bag carrier. Whoops, trash bag carrier thing. Okay. Leanna said, that is so precious about Wendy and BK and the kittens. Thank you, Leanna. It is. It is. I mean, Wendy's a pretty good dog. Okay. I'm sorry, Leanna. Evidently, Wendy went to the bathroom in Leanna's house and I didn't know it. I feel so bad. I try to be a responsible fur mom, and I try to be really careful and train my animals well. But that one got by me. But I'll be paying more attention when we visit. Anyways. Um and then Beth said, yes, a blown engine miles from home is very scary. It certainly is. And then Iris said, what a great accomplishment and bragging rights. Well done, Lesa. Thanks. Um, and then Beth said, what goes down must go back up. Yeah, you're a braver woman than I. You know, I'm a, I'm a fraidy cat. Absolutely. But when I set my mind to, I'm going to do it, and then I do something, I have to finish it. So if I got down, I got to get back up. I am like that, okay? And it's scary, but I'm going to do it anyways. Because otherwise, otherwise, I may as well just die. I mean, and I don't mean that in like some bad way. I just mean, what's the point? So you may as well do stuff. Okay, when things settle a little more calm, a little more things are going really well, and I'm not worried about money the same, and we take some trips together, guys, then I can guide you through some of the scary stuff. And I wouldn't take you on the scariest stuff to start with. I'd take you in calmer places first. But that's what happens. And then Beth said, yes, a big deal and a great accomplishment. Thank you. And then Beth said, I'm still old school East Coast. I travel at 52 to 58, not in a hurry to get anywhere. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm in Arizona and I'm very close to I 40, and people are doing 80 on I 40. I mean, the speed limit's 75, so, but it's like, well, it's not hard to do with the tracker, but if there's any weather or the wind's blowing or the semi blowing past makes the car wiggle, you gotta hang on. So there's some things to do anyway. Um, Leanna, yes, lol. Wendy has been leaving me little presents. Ha ha ha, no worries. No worries, but I still want to be a responsible fur mom. And if I can nip that in the bud, I'm gonna. So, um, and then Beth said, I agree. Scaredy cat or not, we must see things through to the end. Yes, thumbs up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, on the vein of traveling light and often, using what you already have, I know I have a neighbor friend who wants to do memes for the channel and make some pretty ones that are some of these sayings that I do kind of often. Anyway, but on the side of all of this, um, this week, I believe on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, we're painting the roof on the tracker in order to hopefully curb the leak. The last time it rained, there was some water in the back. But anyways, um, we're we're getting that painted, so that's already scheduled. And so I have my kitchen box to put together, and I had a couple of good ideas for how to use some styrofoam that is left over from Amazon boxes that I have here, and either fabric or okay, I thought about fabric, but I also thought about maybe I had some old like tarp material that is scrap that I could use. There's a hot gun and some glue sticks here, because I don't have any E6000. But I have that stuff in order to make the shape of the pots inside my kitchen box so they won't move around. And that ammo crate I chose because the height is just right, that when I go to make my bed, I can put my pillow on top of that and it just fills in the gap. Plus, it has an O-ring that seals it from the dust and the dirt and the water and whatever else. So that'll be the kitchen box, and I'll work on that. And I'll try to keep my expenses as low as possible because I want to replace the fake green grass rug that's in the back of the tracker with the better looking gray that matches. So then it's more aesthetically pleasing to me. And then I'm trying to figure out what storage boxes I can use for more food storage, tools, and clothes. Now, like that yellow bag up there behind my head, that yellow bag is a compression bag for traveling, and I have a set of those, but I've always kind of used those, but it just doesn't fit the space in the back the way I'd like it to. So I'm not sure yet. I want a better way to maneuver that. And I have a tendency to want to be able to see my stuff, but I don't want it like out in the open. And I noticed that somebody else was using storage boxes that also have an O-ring seal in them from Walmart, and that the lids were clear. That would give me a surface that would allow Wendy to stand on top of them sometimes. And I could see the stuff. I'm going to explore those because they're not that expensive. They're less expensive. And besides that, if things are too expensive, you're afraid of messing them up, you know. I do have the Good Yeti cooler is for the car. I already had installed a tailgate table on the tailgate door, on the inside of the door. I have a little bit of stuff to do to that. And yes, I'm going to be filming some of that to make some longer content videos that would help me get paid better. Oops. Gotta show you kitties. Okay. Oh, hi, baby kitty. Hi, Meow. Hi, baby kitty. Hi. I had to look it up last night when I need to start having food for them. So when I go to the post office, I have to get kitty food. And then we're going to have to keep the door closed soon because they're starting to move around. Hi, baby kitty. You want to come see mommy? Is okay, mama? Is okay, mama? Okay. Oops. There's hair. And Mama Kitty is so furry. We have kitty hair everywhere. Let's see. Is it okay, Mama, if I touch the babies? Okay. Let's see. Hi, Kitty. Here. Come. Can Mama hold you for a minute? Hi, baby kitty. Oh, is a beautiful kitty, Mama. I gotta pull you back. Let's see which one we got. And I do not know yet. I never had kittens born around me before. Okay, this is the one with the, let's see. Whoops, sorry. I'm trying to hold it by the camera on the phone so you can see. This one is the one with the little white underneath. Okay, hi, kitty baby. Hi. I can't really tell because I don't have experience whether they're going to have paws like Mama Kitty has. And they are going to be furry. Um, whoops, you guys can't. I'm not. You can't see that very good. Oh, is it nice, a baby kitty? Oh, good baby kitty. Mama, you want him back? I'm not going to know yet how to tell if they're boys or girls either. Here you go, Mama. Here you go. Wash my smell off of them. That's a good Mama. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Wash my smell off. Good girl. What a good baby. Yeah. They're going to be good kitties. So I'm thinking that within a couple of weeks they'll be outside. Um, Yesterday was so nice, but I was too busy that I considered, let me just let you watch them. I considered putting the playpen on the back patio, but I got busy. It was kind of it was just a busy day. And this may be the one that is more vocal. The other ones I hardly ever hear him cry, but I got one that I think it's him. Yeah, he's a good kid. Whoa. Oh, good baby. Yeah, good baby. Yeah. Look at the baby kitties. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so yeah, I'm planning and figuring out because I got to be super careful with my money for next month because of two events. And Expo is like a trade show for people who love outdoor stuff. Okay. And so, well, outdoor, vehicle based outdoor travel. Okay. And so we have the opportunity to like buy things really cheap, but like I'm not going to have any money to buy anything that I'm aware of. So there's stuff I'd like to buy, but I kind of, but if I can work out some pro deals and if I can get some help from some of the other YouTube people on how to make money, that would help me tremendously. So I know in the past there have been classes on how to use your online presence to make money or actually turn it into a business. And so I'm going to be trying to take some of those classes while we're gone. I know how to drive on a dirt road. I know how to drive without a dirt road. I know how to avoid a cactus um, or a hole in the ground. You know, there was a foxhole the other day. Oh, I have a newer neighbor who accidentally showed up at my gate hunting for their property, which was a couple miles away. Um, During this past week, I got him to his property, and I first showed him where he could camp on state trust land with he was able to get his $15 permit. He stayed on the state trust land through a snowstorm, some rain, and some other stuff. And then I was able to take him in the tracker and we drove on road and off road and got him to his property. And he is now on his land. But okay, why was I telling you that? Anyways, so I've been busy. There's been a lot of stuff happening around, but I do these things. Okay, let's see. Let me check down here. Beth said Dakota just changed I-94 from 75 to 80. Yeah, driving that fast. I mean, I get it, but uh, okay. And okay. And then Beth said, "Goodness, look at those eyes." Yeah, I know. I don't know whether cats, when they first open their eyes, if are they always blue or do they? I think they change color. Anyway, but I'm aware that at between 3 and 5 weeks, so at 4 weeks, they need to be starting to eat food. So we will do that. And I know Mama's been going out hunting, so I think it's almost like you could tell that she's changing along with their age. She's changing what she's doing for them. It's got to be instinct. But so but anyway, so yeah, I don't want to take you guys with the phone outside and try to show you the catio right now because I'm afraid that I'll lose the signal. Um, what else do you need to know? Wendy is just out laying in the sunshine. She just flopped over on the ground. She's so funny. Well, she's been not just so funny, but can you see her over there? But Wendy's been, you know, a little emotional back and forth, different kinds of emotions with the kittens. So she knows she's center of attention right now. There are times when she's like forced me to pat her and things, and I'm like, "Yo, Wendy, give it a rest, give it a rest." But anyway, Beth is saying yes, the kitten's eyes change color. I thought so. Make the catio pictures a post. I will either a post or I'll do a video on it, one of the two. But I kind of was holding off because tomorrow the girl's coming to paint, and I don't know which paint job she's going to do first, but I want her to hit the side of that with the gray paint that she already started. But I bet she's going to do white paint first. So probably she's going to work on the porch. So I'll get pictures, but I'll get them up because I will. I just have been well. I really didn't feel good. I had bought some mushrooms and onions and ate them over a week ago, and I had 4 or 5 days of the most intense cramps, like I was having a baby. I mean, like bad cramps. And then, close your ears if you don't, if it's TMI, but, and then intense uh, diarrhea for a week from eating onions and mushrooms. So I was like, yeah, forget that. Okay, let's get rid of the vegetables again. Let's see if there's any way I can heal this up. Because otherwise, food isn't, you know, whatever. But right now, I'm living on cans of tuna fish. Like I said, I got one avocado left. Um, oh, but I did bring coffee back. And I did it with coffee, powdered MCT oil, and allulose. I wasn't going to do it, but I was like, you know what? I just have so little stuff I can even eat as at all that doing completely away with coffee, it's not working for me. And I bought Four Sigmatics pack of coffee that was for repairing your gut that has turkey tail mushrooms in it. And I actually like it. Now, I'm not drinking it every single day, but I got it as an addition to the other coffee I have. And it feels good. So I'm being careful with coffee. It's not like I'm drinking pots of coffee every day, but having a cup or two in a day with the powdered MCT oil that is C8 and C10, and with the allulose is allowing me to have something that has flavor so I don't feel so whatever, because sucks to be me sometimes. Okay. Um all right. So how am I doing on telling you guys about traveling light and often, doing things on a budget? Oh, I talked with my son this week about my travel power needs. And we were discussing how I'm annoyed with some of the stuff I have. Now, like I have that Cascadia 4x4 solar panel on the hood of my car. And because of that, one of the mechanics switched out my newer battery for a piece of junk battery. And I told my son that always from the get go, I wanted to have an Optima battery in there. And I don't remember, but we were talking about it. And I said, I think they didn't install my Cascadia system correctly because there's two sets of leads on the Cascadia plug and play on the charge controller that's in the engine compartment. And one set is supposed to work for the drive battery, and one set's supposed to work for the vehicle, for your house battery. But they didn't set it up that way. So I can't use that solar panel to help me have power. So we were talking about it, and I said, Josh, old Jeeps, even like, okay, so a CJ or a JK Jeep is a similar size engine compartment to what I've got in the Tracker. Similar size, not perfect. Anyway, but like I told him, there's room in my engine compartment if you get the right overall size, and I mean like the dimensions. If you get the right battery for my car and the posts of the battery are in the right location and all of that, it should all be able to fit in there. But I know that there's space for two batteries. Okay. And I was like, I always wanted to do what overlander people often do is have two batteries in the engine compartment. And one's the drive battery and the other one's the, I mean, we don't like battery isolators and stuff like that, but I was like, this system is supposed to do other things. It's just not doing it because I think it wasn't quite installed correctly. Because the person who did the installation, love them, no offense to that person, but they were told what to do. I don't think that they read the directions, kind of thing. And I'd read the directions a little bit, but I'm not a mechanic, and I couldn't be in the shop with them. It was not when I was working. It was before I worked for them. So it wasn't like that. So I don't think it was quite put in right. But Cascadia should be at Expo. So I'll get together with them and we'll figure it out, because on top of that, I also have the delaminated um, panel is still on the car, and it's going to get shown off, and it's the way it is because I'm camping in the middle of the show. Um, but and that was expensive. And when my son saw how expensive that was, he did make a comment to me. My son made a comment to me about, well, Mom, I want to help you. It'd be better off if I bought you a couple of Optima batteries for your car. And I said, yeah. Oh, yeah, would I let you do that? And I said, but until I go talk to the company and I figure some of this out, is there any way you can help me have a fast charger for my phone, or a little phone charger like the one that that girl bumped at the office and burned up on me? Um, but so that I can charge the phone while I'm away on this trip. And he said, "Oh, I can get you a fast charger for plugging in the cigarette lighter, and I can get you a short cord." Yeah, absolutely. So I think he's sending that to me. I'm not 100%, but that's what I asked for. And then he's talking about, well, that makes sense to put two batteries in there and hook that stuff up right. He goes, now that you got the car running, that should be working right too. And I'm like, thank you. Okay. So those are things that could be coming up the pike, but I do sometimes upgrade things I have, but I'm still on a budget all the time. And so I can't willy-nilly spend money. I mean, I'm going to need $2,400 in October. I don't have $2,400, but I'm going to need it in October in order to fix the rest of my jaw and those couple of teeth. And that part of October part of things is all kind of figured out. I have a ride, I have an extra driver. The extra driver called me a month ago and said, by the way, I've been thinking about that. I've decided I'm going to get us a couple of nights at the casino in the hotel so that she goes, I don't like to be up early in the morning. And that way we can make sure you're okay before I take you back to courtside. So that stuff for October is all planned, but I don't have $2,500 yet. I got to get it. So I got to earn it. I need to be making more videos because, in my humble opinion, that's the only place I got to make money. So, I show you this. Wendy just came back in. She's like, she comes in, she checks in with the cat, she checks the babies. Anyway, so, rocking on a budget. I don't want to ruin something that's expensive. It's one thing to put an expensive set of tires on the car. They're important. It's like having a good pair of shoes, right? It's important to spend money to make sure that my car will keep running. So repairs are worth money. The solar panel was worth the money, is worth the money that I put into it. Even if it's not set up right, it is keeping my drive battery running. Okay. Um, um, so things like that are important. Now I've got a rattle in the back door that someday I'll have somebody look at. Is there a way to fix that? Or do I need to buy another back door from somebody and get that straight? Why is it wiggling so much? But for the moment, I'm dealing with what I got. So I spend money where it is important. Now, for the looks on the car, yeah, there is a thing. I like my aesthetics. I want it to be practical, but I want it to look good too. It's a thing. So someday I'll do a paint job, but not today. And so we're working on this week. We're going to paint the roof. That'll stop the leak that's been happening. Then I'm going to start Tetrising the things I already have that I know I'm going to take on this trip. I want to be able to, the goal is to be able to have enough food storage for things like canned tuna fish under the circumstances or whatever, right? And powdered mixes like the MCT oil or the nutritional yeast, salt, coffee, stuff like that. I need enough food storage. My goal is to have food storage for almost a month. Okay. And then the fresh stuff will be in the Yeti cooler, the little one, this one, that was gifted to me in Quartzsite this year. So that little cooler will do fresh foods, but I need to have enough food with me because my diet is important to me being mentally okay as well as physically still walking. Okay. And because of that, I have to plan, I have to cook all my own meals. I haven't been to a restaurant in a long time. It's very rare for me to go to a restaurant. I could under certain circumstances. But I choose to 98% of the time, I am cooking all my own food for myself because I can't trust the way other people do things. They, and it's not that I don't trust like you guys or something, but if you don't know what I'm allergic to, and you accidentally put something in the food, you wouldn't know that I can't eat cayenne pepper. You might put it in your food and just thinking, oh, everybody does that, and I'd get sick. Well, I can't trust that because I have to be okay. So, so I cook almost, almost 100% of my food. I cook myself. Okay, so I got to be super, super, super careful. But so the goal in the tracker is to be able to carry almost a month's worth of food with me. That way, I have enough that I could share with someone else. I can supplement with fresh stuff, but I need to make space for that. And I need to make space for things like tools. And I don't even have a good set of tools for the tracker. I try to travel with people who have tools or near people who have tools. I have to have enough fuel for me to run my not propane stoves, um, because there are times when there are fire bans and you can't always use charcoal. Charcoal's like cheap and I love it and it's slow cooking and it's good. But when you want that first cup of coffee in the morning, you want it fast and quick, and that's alcohol in my case, or a really good can of Sterno. And you can't always buy that everywhere, but I have little things so I have options, and it keeps my cost as low as is possible. And I just realized this week how much all the stuff I've collected and tested and worked with over the years is finally starting to come together as this stuff is for the cabin, this stuff is for the tracker. So it's like getting to be categories now. That's simpler. It's easier. Um, and it's part of how I manage my expenses when I'm traveling. I figure if I can afford the gas, whatever's in my vehicle and, well, whatever's in my vehicle when I go anywhere should be able to help me survive for a while. And so in the past, even if I went to the grocery store, my car was always packed with enough stuff for about a week or two. So the least amount of stuff I want in my car is enough to maneuver for a week or two. Because if the car broke down, at least I could be okay for a little minute. So that's okay. So we talked about Fraidy Cat stuff. We talked about some about my budget. We talked some about my health stuff. We talked about the kitties. Am I missing anything this week? Um, oh, thank you for sharing the MCT oil um, link, Beth. Beth says, living up north, I always buy a bigger battery, larger CCA number to start better in cold weather. You are correct. If there's room and terminals located correctly, go bigger. Exactly. And I am not good at maintaining batteries. When I was a kid, I saw one blow up. Okay, kind of scared me. So Oh, and that reminds me, I've also been doing trauma therapy recently, which has been hard. And I've gotten kind of stuck. And the stuckness was on why bother imagining anything? Because I used to imagine things and it just makes things worse. So I kind of got stuck on that. Anyway, but I'm still doing it. Still maneuvering that. Um, okay. Um, I got to show you the kitties again. We're back and forth. It's because the kitties are here. They're holding their heads up and just checking out each other. Um, what did Bess say? If you don't maintain the battery, it has a better chance of blowing up. Yes, but you got to remember, I'm old enough that the one I saw blow up was the old style of batteries, not new batteries. New batteries can blow up. That is true. But you have, there's a lot more safeties um, built into newer batteries than when I was, I don't know, you know, 7 or whatever, or 10, or there you go. There, look at those kitties and their pretty eyes, and they're trying to move around, hugging each other. So, I do encourage people to just feel how scared you are and try some of your adventurous stuff anyways, even if you're on a budget, because if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. I mean, geez, I've been paralyzed. I've been, you know, abused. I've been, through the ringer. I've had no money most of my life. Um, and I'm still doing it. And to be honest, I'm wondering, Overland Expo contacted me and asked, was my rig doing good enough? Did I want to come? And I said, "Oh man, give me a couple of weeks, I'll get right back to you about this, because yes, I would love to come." And then I like question myself about, but what am I going to tell somebody? Just because my car's little and capable and it's now vintage, darn it, I'm not going to have the copper vintage Arizona license plates on it this year, but I'll have them next year. But the what I'm saying though is, what am I showing off? Just that I'm cheap, old, scared, and I'm still doing it. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I have a lot of friends at the expos and they help me out. And sometimes some of the companies give me things because they're like, "Man, are we glad you're still here? You're still doing it, girl. Just keep doing it." Because even at the event, you're camping, and oh, and sometimes in Flagstaff, it rains like crazy and it gets cold. You know, um, I practiced when I was gone down at Quartzsite in Ehrenberg this year. I was able to practice with my tarps and making sure that was easy to set up off the back of the car, got that under control. Um, I would like to have a different lawn chair or camp chair for the trip, but I don't know if I can afford it yet, because I've also got the painting the cabin thing going on at the same time. And so I got to play my money carefully, because I need gas money to go on these things and I need groceries. And so I got to maneuver carefully. Um, and I will, because I do. And remember that when I chose that I was going to live debt free, I did until something happened and I made a mistake. Well, I made that mistake 3 times. 3 strikes, you're out. We're not making that mistake again. I'm not going in debt. The only thing I can imagine going in debt for would be a Jimny car, but they're not available in the United States. And that's the only thing I can imagine going in debt for. And I don't want to do that. So, not doing it. Um, so, um, and so that's what I'm doing, okay? Is carefully maneuvering on a budget, debt free, not going to buy stuff that I can't afford. You remember I wanted that hammock stand on the front of the car? The adventure hammock system hammock. I want the one that stays in on the front while you drive so that I don't have to carry it inside the car. And so I had the car, I had a receiver hitch put on the front of the car. I tried what's his name? His dog's name's Lily. Is it Brian? No, it's not Brian. It's um Sunroamer Overland. I had his hammock on the front of my hammock stand on the front of my car before. Okay, took pictures with it, took a nap, had it on there for 2 days. I think 2 days. Anyway, when I went up to Oregon before the engine blew, the company invited me to come check them out, and they were going to give me a pro deal, half price, to have that on the car. I got there. They took one look at the car and said, nope, it won't look good on your car. We won't do it. And I just went, what do you mean? I came up here on pennies holding on to this $350 or whatever it was so I could get the hammock stand, and you won't sell it to me? Yeah, it's going to make our product look bad. So after that is when I was able to put what's his name's one on my car and got pictures. But I still want that deal. I feel like they still owe me. I don't have the money to buy it this year either. Wouldn't I love to have one of those on my car, but I can't maneuver it yet because I don't have $300. When I left Quartzsite, I had $800. I've had so much stuff happen that's gone. Okay, so no, I'm not going with a pocket full of money so I could buy a couple of things to upgrade the car. And on the back of the car, now you knew that my water port grew legs while I was away, and I never got any money for that. It grew legs. Anyway, I hope you know what I mean. But anyways, the back of the car where the water port used to sit, I want to get the Rock X. So it's ROC, Rockworks. ROCKWORKX. Multi-tool. It's a shovel that goes in the hitch receiver, but it's a stand, a stool, it's all kinds of tools. So I want that on the rear. Again, it's a $300 and some odd piece of equipment that I don't have money for. But I am going to go buy, when Candy was here, she told me who to talk to when we get to Expo. And so I will go talk to him, and I'll see if I can't finagle something for that. That's what I want on the rear receiver hitch of the car. Because it's a step, it's a stool, it's a shovel, anyways. And then I don't have to carry the shovel inside anymore. And so Candy and I discussed as well, I was hunting for ideas, how I can have recovery tracks on the back roof. Like I did when we went to Baja, I had the orange ones on the roof, but we couldn't maneuver with those roof rails that were up there. We couldn't figure out how to fix that. I couldn't get them off the roof. It was a thing. But Candy and I looked at it, and she said, Why don't you get weather stripping that has that really good 3M tape on it and space pieces between those barrel things that move in the wind? That ought to stay on there. So after we paint the roof, then we're going to do that and a new set of black recovery tracks, but minis will fit on the back rear roof. They're $45. So I need to buy those. And then the car looks kind of cool for the overland crowd. Well, not just for the overland crowd, but I mean, I like it too. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have ditch lights. I'm not going to have ditch lights before I go. There's no way. But when I get around my son for some of that, then we'll. My son is a high end, super military trained electronics guy. He's got a genius. We'll deal with those extra electronics because I also want like an in-dash radio with a GPS system and stuff, but I can't maneuver that now. That'll be, I don't know, a year or two. I don't know. What did I just see? Let me see. Beth said, yes, show off that you're old, scared, capable, and still able to do this. Doing it. That, absolutely. And encouraging other people that if I can, you find your way to do the same thing. Because I'm just showing you it's possible. But you got to find your way. Because if you're too scared to drive through the water crossing that I went through, it's okay. There's always a way around a water crossing. Okay. But maybe you're better on the scary downhill. And I was fine with the water crossing. That wasn't even an issue. I would love to put a snorkel on my tracker. It would get cleaner air from up higher in the sand. It's not always about making sure the engine doesn't flood. Anyway, Bernie said, a Roxy tool? No, okay, I missed that name. Okay, gonna tell you. Rock Works. It's spelled ROCKWORKX. Rockworks multi-tool. It's a shovel and other stuff, but it all in one that goes in a receiver hitch. I just love it. And no, I don't know what color to get, but I'll probably get just the metal, like I don't think it's stainless steel, but the metal color. They have them in colors. You could get a red or a green I don't think I want to make my car be color coordinated. I think I just want to leave it as simple as I can. So hopefully you got that name that time, Bernie. Oh, Kitty TV again. Wendy TV too. Wendy, gentle, please. Be real gentle, big girl. You're such a good Auntie Wendy. Oh no, you just clean their butts. You would have been such a good mama, Wendy. So you're a really great auntie, puppy dog auntie. And that one kitten that is more vocal and moves around more. Look at her holding her paw up so she doesn't step on him. That one knows Wendy when she comes by and goes to the wall or the window part for Wendy. She looks for Wendy. So, yeah. Bernie says, your inspirational journey is why I searched you out and follow you. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you. Yeah. Careful, Wendy. So, but yeah, so okay. I hope I have done pretty good today. I never know. I never know how I'm doing when I tell you guys stuff. But like I said, I already contacted InstaPrivy. I tried to send. I've been having weird email things happen, like not getting an email for 2 weeks at a time, And then I go to drive somewhere and the phone will go ding, 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 and I'll have 6 emails. So I had a bunch of companies talking to me about, would you look at our product? And I never heard from them again. And so I don't know whether, the update of Google software or so, I don't know what's going on, but whatever. Beth, I can't get it to come up on Amazon. Yeah, you probably can't. I'm not sure they have it on Amazon. I think that's you got to go to the company thing. Like I started to say before, I am trying to decide. I'm not going to decide now, but I'm trying to decide if I want to get a Trangia alcohol stove kit. If I do, I'm looking at either the 25 size, which is the big one, or the 27 size. And I think I want to get the anodized aluminum kit. They're easier to clean and everything. Um, but I think for when the Sea to Summit silicone stuff ought to be good for a few years, couple of years. But when I can afford it, and I think it would be a nice change for the car camping as well as at home. Um, because I have all these little cool titanium hiking things and they work super well. But they're great for if I got to throw things in a backpack and leave the car behind. And so I want that ability as well. So I hope all of this kind of making some kind of sense. Um, Bernie saying, my son has surprised me and is building up my van with five. Whoa. I've been saving to do so. Oh, that's fantastic, Bernie. 5,000's a lot to build. That's fantastic. I mean, if that works for you, go for it. Um, oh, I'm still wow. That's a surprise and a great thing. Um, Keystone Pirate. I should know who you are. And right off quick, I can't. Bernie saying, granted, the high top itself was 5,000. He then told me he'll do the rest as well, so I'll be here a bit longer. Oh, okay, okay. If my son was doing stuff like that for me on a van, I would not do a high top. I would put a wedge style pop top on the van instead. But that's me. Anywho, um, I think we kind of got us through an hour and a half. I've been trying to stick to more like an hour. I can't wait to see everybody at Expo. I can't wait to see Wendy will go with me, of course. I can't wait to see everybody at Zuki Palooza and hang out with them. I hope and pray that I'll be able to finagle a way to car camp in somebody's campsite that's already got one because I can't afford the amount of money to rent my own campsite for that weekend. And I'm willing to give them a little bit of money if I can finagle it for Zuki Palooza, but I definitely want to be there. So um mixed emotions. I want to leave a long time ago. I understand that. Um oh, Luke. That's right, Luke. Um please remember to give that's Beth saying please remember to give Lesa the thumbs up and the likes. Um Bernie's saying it's higher than I wanted, but he can surely stand in there. There you go. Um, okay, everybody. I think we did an hour and a half. I think I'll go. I hope I gave you good info today and it was helpful in some way. Um, by the way, things like the Sea to Summit pots that I got, they're the old set that is no longer in production. What's the words I want for that? They don't sell that anymore. They have new sets. But that's how I did my budget thing. I looked at them when they were new, but I couldn't afford them. So I waited until they weren't, until something else was new. And then I kept watching them on eBay until I could afford a set. And then I was like, well, because it folds down so small, it really is going to help. But yeah, I got to figure out some more food storage. And what I'm hoping to do is I like to keep my tools underneath the passenger seat. But there is the seats are old school, have a cable that's diagonal. So the thing under the passenger seat can only be so tall so that you can move the seat back and forth. And so I have limited space, but that's where I like to keep my tools. And then on the passenger side, I try to not put too many heavy things because I'm the heavier thing, right? Um, and I try to balance the weight a little bit and keep the weight low. So it's a good place for me to store canned tuna fish, okay? Or glass bottles of Pellegrino. I might have to suck it up and do plastic bottles of Pellegrino when I'm traveling and the glass bottles here. I mean, I'm trying to keep my health as best I can, right? But I may have to choose it that way. But I can put cans of tuna fish behind each seat because they're short, down low. And I could put them a couple of cans high and fill in that space. But it's also a good place. No, I was going to say it's also a good place for a 1 gallon jug of water in those short, fat jugs I got that were from aloe vera juice. But those jugs also, a number of them, like 3 of them, fit really good in the passenger side footwell. So I have to kind of finagle some of that stuff. So I'll be Tetrising some stuff soon. But I've been thinking about the fact that 3 cases of tuna fish, they're 12 cans each, gives me 1 can of tuna fish a day with a few extra. That's not a lot of food. I could eat 3 cans of tuna fish a day, to be honest, but I have to finagle something. So maybe I should get 4 cases of tuna fish. Then, if I pack them on the floor behind the seats, down low, you can still move the seats forward and backward, and it puts all that weight from food down low. And a lot of my other things, like coffee is powder, those things don't weigh much. And then the cooler sits, I move it around, depends on how heavy it is on what day, right? With the ice in it or whatever. And so I move it around a little bit, but it basically stays on the driver's side in the back. And then the pots and pans and everything in the kitchen box is on the passenger side in the back. And then between them, a couple of jugs of water fit there. Um, all right, I got off on that. So, anyways, pray for each other, pray for the world, pray for the powers that be, because God has to be in power. Pray for our kitties. Pray for my neighbors. I have a new neighbor. His name is Matt. He has traumatic brain injury, moved out here alone, and is very close to the cattle yard. Please put him in your list, please. My neighbor friend Joshua, pray for him. I've been able to help him. He's been able to help me, but I got to be careful with the money right now. Pray for Michelle, who is the one doing my paint job for me. She would like to start a woman-owned business that would be painting, and she could use more work. I would like to We agreed on a price for her to paint the cabin inside and out. She hasn't finished it, and right now I'm not sure how much money I've got left to give her. So I'm wondering if you could pray about this for me too. I would. Donna Kay, are you out here? No. Okay. Um, but yes, pray for Donna Kay too. Um, Pray for each other. But pray for this girl who's Michelle, who's painting for me, because she doesn't know it yet, but I need to find out if she would be willing to take a couple of items in barter for the work instead of cash. I have about $300 worth of things here that she might have an interest in. And if she would be willing to accept them, I would so do that in a heartbeat for part of the payment to her, because it is an expense to do this. What else? Pray for Wendy that she doesn't feel too left out with the kitty thing. I love Wendy's personality, so I'm hoping that doesn't change too much with all of this going on. I don't think it will, but I know she's annoyed with the food right now, and I get annoyed with it's a thing. Um, who else do we need to pray for that I can remember right off quick? Continue to pray for Leanna and her neighbor Howard, who helps with lots of things, and her sister Tony, who also helps with lots of things, and that other neighbor Chris. Pray for all of them. Chris is trying to sell goats. She ended up keeping a couple of goats for someone a couple years back. And the last I heard, she had 28 goats, and she needs to, like, she can't have a life. So she's trying to sell goats right now. Anybody else? I can't think. Oh, Michelle had to rescue some family members that came from Texas. She was able to meet up with them in Gallup and bring them to her property. If you could pray about that, because that's a new thing for her to deal with. And I guess it's a young couple, and the girl's pregnant. I don't know who else needs prayers right off quick. I'm sorry. The mobile mechanic guy, his name is Justin. He has a big family. I can't remember. Oh, and baby Bobby Kitty, whatever we're calling Mama Kitty, her grandmother just gave birth. So there's new kitties at that house. Um, all right, I guess that's it, and we're going to go. We try to be out here on Sunday mornings, 9:30 Arizona time. Check it for yours. Arizona does not do um, daylight saving, so check the time against wherever you're watching from. Like I said, pray for each other. Oh, Bernie, my Cash App is $ Simply Lesa. I think it's in the descriptions on my videos. Um, I don't happen to have Zelle. I still have PayPal, and on PayPal you can still do friends and family. And so y'all have a wonderful week. We'll be back here next week, God willing, and the creek don't rise and whatever. Same bat time, same bat channel. Love y'all. Have a great week. I'm waiting on Bernie because I see the 3 Qs. Sell? Bernie, I can send you a private, I can send you a message on the phone. Okay? You can always look me up or send me a, if you're a personal friend like most of you are, you can send me a message on the regular phone. But do you need the app for PayPal? I don't you probably need you don't need the app, I don't think, for PayPal. But I also don't think you need, I don't know if you need the app for Cash App. Those um, Wendy's eating cat food right now, crunching. Um, okay, so ciao. We'll see you next week. Y'all stay safe. Be good. I don't know what to say. Ciao.